I'd definitely have to say that the people in the IML program are some of the coolest people I met at USC. Even though everyone's completely different, there's still that really strong similarity that everyone has in terms of being interested and driven and motivated. My project is called Enlightening Engineering. So I created a Rube Goldberg machine. The Rube Goldberg machine has a bunch of different steps, and it eventually does a very mundane task. I took each step in the machine that I made and then broke down the scientific principles and technical aspects behind it. This is the whole video in question. Starting off, it goes through a marble chute, showing basic kinematics. It hits a rolling ring, which sets two trains going off. This hits a switch, which turns on a fan. This fan then creates wind, which pushes the little cart over. The string causes two weights to fall, landing simultaneously. This string then pulls out the cord, which turns on the light bulb, and simultaneously drops Mentos into a Diet Coke bottle. An example of one of the tasks, for instance, in kinematics, each part goes through and says what it is. And in this case, it's just a very simple observational idea of what's going on. And then it goes through and explains the theory that it demonstrates, the scientific principle behind it, why the thing works. From that, it goes through and explains how it works, how things are going on, and why the marble goes through the chute at a certain velocity and why it does that. Finally, it'll go through and explains what it relates to. In this case, the marble track can easily be related to roller coasters because they're very similar in that respect. And then finally, there's just a little factoid tidbit. The final little thing doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the project at hand, but it's something that I found is interesting just because there's always opportunity to learn just a little something extra, not necessarily related. It's something cool, which I thought helped aid the project. The thing with this project is that if you write a paper, you can obviously write about all of the subjects I talked about. They're all things that have been really heavily covered. But the hope behind this project is that you see the machine and you think, that's cool. But then you think, why is this cool? So then you go through and you learn why it's cool. It's intended to help someone expand their horizon, learn a little more, and then be able to apply it to something else. I've found that a lot of what I learned in IML I can definitely apply to the future. I've also found just in job interviews when I'm talking about how I know how to use media and I know how to apply things in different ways. Companies love that because not a lot of people know how to do that nowadays. So it's something really unique that a lot of companies have been grasping onto.